All right, guys, grab you some yarn, grab you a 6 crochet hook, and then grab you a tapestry needle and grab you a pair of scissors and stitch markers. Let's get started. I'm going to start off with a slip knot. You're going to wrap the yarn around 2 fingers. Go between your 2 fingers and grab that strand. Hold both sides and pull up. Just like that. It makes a ring. Insert your hook. Pull both sides of the yarn to close the circle up. We're going to start off with a chain of 6. To make a chain, you wrap the yarn around your hook, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to join at the first stitch. Insert your hook into the first chain. Grab the yarn and pull through both loops. And now we have formed a ring. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Holding our loose strand down here, we're going to crochet right over it. And there, in the ring, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So that's 1 double crochet. Then we're going to wrap the yarn, go back into the ring, pull the yarn through. We got 3 loops on our hook. Go through 2 at a time. That's 2 and 2. Chain 1. And let's do that again. We're going to put 3 double crochets into that ring. So that's 1 double crochet. Go right back into that ring. Let me pull some more yarn. All right, let's pull it. And that makes it easier to come out. Again, we're going to do another double crochet. And let's do 1 more double crochet. And now we're going to chain 1. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So you should have a total of 4 sets of 3 double crochets. So let's go ahead and do 3 more double crochets. Chain 1. And this is going to be our last 3 double crochets. So that's 1 double crochet. Go back in that ring. That's 2 double crochet. Go right back into that ring and put another double crochet. So every time I got through with 3 double crochets, I chain 1. So I should have a total of 4 sets of 3 double crochets. So that's 1 set, 2 sets, 3 set, and 4. I'm just going to take that string down here and I'm just going to pull it to tighten my work. Okay, now go directly on top of the chain 3. Insert your hook and we're going to do a slip stitch to join. Once we have joined our work, we are going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. So slip stitch 1 time here. Let's go to the next double crochet and let's do a slip stitch again. And we're going to do a slip stitch into that chain 1 space. So go ahead and put a slip stitch there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 3. So make sure that you in that chain 1 space. So let's chain up 3. I'm making sure 1, 2, and 3. So now that we got that, we're going to go right back into that chain 1 space. And we're going to put 2 more double crochets in that same space. So that's 1 double crochet, that's 2. Now we're going to chain 1 and go directly back into that same space and put 3 more double crochets. Now each time that we get to a corner, that is what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and put 3 more double crochets into the same space. That's 1. Here is 2. There is 3. And each time you finish a corner by putting 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochets, after that we're going to do a chain 1. We're going to go right into the next corner. You know where you're in the corner because you at that chain 1 space. And here we're going to put 3 double crochets. That's 2. Here is 3. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into that same space. So that is what we do in each of our corner. And when we're done, we chain 1. And then we go directly into our next corner. So repeat that. Okay, so now you can see our square is taking shape. I went on and did 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1. And now we're going to go directly on top of our chain 3 space, stitch, not space, but directly on top of our chain 3 stitch. And we're going to do a slip stitch to join. All right, so this is how our work is looking so far. Okay, so now we're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. And then I want you to go and do a slip stitch into the next stitch, just like you see I'm doing here. And now we back at the chain 1 space. So we're going to do a slip stitch so we can be in that corner. All right, so remember when you at the corner, you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to put another double crochet. And then put 1 more double crochet. Chain 1. Go right back into that same space and put 3 more double crochets. 1. And that makes 2. And let's put 1 more in there. That's 3. All right, so that's my corner right there, right? So we're going to chain 1. And now we at the space right here where we're just going to put 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. All right, now let's chain 1. And we're going to go into the next corner. And in a corner, remember, we do 3 double crochets. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 1, and put 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to move right into our chain 1 space there, and we're just going to put 3 double crochets there. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. We back at our corner, so we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space, chain 1, and 3 double crochets. Okay, so I made it back around, so I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch to join directly on top of our chain 3 stitch. And so this is how our square is looking. And now I'm just going to slip stitch in the next stitch. I need to get back into my corner, so let's slip stitch 1 time, go into the next stitch, slip stitch 2 times, go into that chain 1 space so that we can be at our corner. So all we're going to do is repeat this until you get to the size of the granny square that you would like. I am going to go a total of 6 rounds. So this right here, where you have your corner right here, that is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and now I'm on number 4, and I'm going to do this 6 times. So you're going to count it. Every time you get back to your corner, you're going to say, that's okay, I went around 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So we're going to go 3 more times, and then I'll let you know what we do next. So complete what we did on the previous row, and I'll meet you back once I have my 6 rows done. 1, 2, 3, 3 more rows. Okay guys, so I'm back. I went a total of 6 around. So make sure you're counting from the beginning. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now before I continue on for this last row, this is what I want you to do. Instead of slip stitching, we're going to single crochet till we get to this chain 1 space. So I want you to go on top of your chain 3 space, and I want you to do a single crochet instead of a slip stitch. So let's go a single crochet here, single crochet into the second, and now I'm in the chain 1 space. I'm going to do a single crochet because this is going to make it easier for us to go around with 1 row of single crochet. So right where I did my last single crochet, I'm going to put my stitch marker right here so I can know that I'm back in the middle of this chain 1 space. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go to this next space right here. I'm not next space, but next stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet. So what I'm going to do all the way around until I get back to my stitch marker, we are just putting a single crochet into every stitch. When you get to your chain 1 space right here, we're just going to put 1 single crochet, and then into the next 3 double crochets we're going to put on 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets directly on top of our bottom double crochet. Then when we get to this chain 1 space, we go inside here and do a single crochet. So we're going to repeat that all the way around with just single crocheting, and I'll meet you back at the beginning. All right, you guys, so I made it back to my stitch marker. So I want to make sure I go inside my stitch marker and finish my single crocheting all the way around. Now I can remove my stitch marker for the time being. And this granny square is done. So let's just cut our yarn. I'm going to cut a nice piece right there, and then we're going to go ahead and fasten off. All right, so this is our first granny square. Now what you can do at this point, if you want to go ahead and sew in your loose strands, you got 1 right here and you got 1 in the middle right here, you can do so. Once you do that, I need you to make 3 more of these squares the same way we made this one. So we need to have a total of 4 of these squares. So go ahead and make your other 3, and I'll meet you back at the beginning. All right, guys, so I now have 4 of my granny squares completed, and I left this strand here open because I want to know which is my front side and which one is my back side. So that's the only reason why I didn't sew in this loose strand. I'll do that at the end, but everything else is sewn in. So once you have your 4 squares together, you're going to need a total of 6 stitch markers. Now I have a lot of stitch markers, but in here you're going to see I'm using a safety pin to let you know you can use whatever you have available as a stitch marker, even if they're safety pins. So this is how we do the work. The first one, we fold it in half diagonally. So I got it folded in half like this. Okay, then we turn it kind of slanted as you see in the frame. We take our next square, and once you get that, right directly on top of your chain 1 space. So there's my chain 1, I'm going to go into that stitch, and then on top of my chain 1 space here, I'm going to connect these two. So now they are connected. So when I get ready to do my single crochets, I have these together. Then I'm going at the bottom, I'm going to go into my chain 1 space. As you can see here, this is where we're saying 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go into that chain 1 space on both sides. So here's the first chain 1 space. I'm going to insert my stitch marker right here. And then I'm going to go down here on this chain 1 space, and I'm going to join these two together as well. So this is how your work should be looking. Now I'm just going to go on the opposite side and do the same thing as I did on that side. I'm going to take my square and I'm going to fold it diagonally, and then I'm going to repeat what I just did. I'm going to take my stitch marker, and at the top of my chain 1 space, I'm going to insert, and then I'm going to go on this side and repeat and do the same thing on my chain 1 space. Connect it. Then I'm going to go down to the bottom. I hope you guys can see it in frame. And I'm going to repeat what I did on the opposite side. I'm going to grab where I have my chain 1 space. Go over here and find my chain 1 space and put my stitch marker. So that is how the bag is looking. Now I'm just going to flip it on the opposite side. As you can see, I need another square to close this part up right here. I'm going to, because this is going to be connected and this is going to be connected, I can take this same stitch marker, find my chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, so there go my chain 1 space. And I'm going to, and so now I'm going to insert my stitch marker and go to the opposite side, find the chain 1 space over here or stitch, and do the same thing here. And then I can go to the top up here. Okay, so let me go ahead and find my place where I need to put my stitch marker. And let's go ahead and connect this side as well and move on to the next step. All right, let me try to find it. There it is. Okay,